Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the School of Conscious Evolution with myself, the host, Daniela Florio. And tonight I have the honor, the joy to have two wonderful ladies. We have from, do I say right, from Scotland?
Yeah, well,
Jacqui McGleish. And from the US, we have Debbie Romero. Good evening, ladies.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, good evening. So we are just going to give a moment for people to connect. It's the first time streaming with StreamYard, so I understand that there are about 10 seconds delay on the broadcast. And so I just wanted to say, finally, Jacqui, we have tried a date before, but didn't work out. Something about, I think I had an emergency at the time. And so I'm so very glad that you made it and that you're here as well with us. And Debbie, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I am here ready and excited to be with both of you. So thank you for inviting. Yeah.
Good.
That
Excellent.
was fun.
Thank you. So I just wanted to ask for Jacqui to introduce a little bit about yourself, because I know that you've been serving Spirit for very, very many years, and you do a very important job as well.
I do, yeah. I've been working spiritually for about 32 years now. So a long time, really. I am also an officiant with the Spiritualist National Union. So I do lots of different things within my job, not just mediumistically. I teach as well. I also am on a committee with the SNU. And my passion really is watching students come alive and understanding their own spirit and, you know, standing in their own light and watching the light grow. For me, that's amazing. And seeing their evolution happen, I think, is amazing.
Absolutely. And this is what we are going to talk about in a moment.
We lost her.
Oh,
hopefully she'll come back.
hopefully. Oh, I'm gone too.
Now you're gone too. There you are, Jacqui.
I'm back. I don't know what.
Back, girl.
Technology, it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing when it works.
There she
is. I'm sorry. So I was saying, yes, we will be talking about, the evolution of mediumship. And this is what I would love to do tonight as well. And so is there any specific role, because obviously you're very busy, Jacqui, that you prefer or that is giving you more satisfaction? I know it's a bit of a tricky question.
I actually think it's a really good question, because I think when you first come into mediumship or first start doing any spirit work, you kind of focus in one area. And I think as you evolve within it, and the amount of time I've been in it, I've evolved and added different things into my bag. So I've learned over the years to do many different roles. Mediumistically, is probably the best way for me to work, but I love connecting with people. Part of my role is visiting people who are sick or in hospital, or doing funeral services or wedding services or naming services. And some of those can be really beautiful. People coming into to spiritualism as a religion, or doing their last thing in this life for them, doing their funeral service, which can be rewarding for me, uplifting for the family, knowing that their loved one still carries on and carries that torch for them. I just think it's lovely. So there's many different areas, but probably mediumistically is my kind of thing, because it's always been there for me. So for me, it's just It's one of these things I just love.
Yes, yes, and I totally hear you on all of that, And so, Debbie, how about you? And I know that obviously you're based in California. Most of the people that are following me, they are aware of you. And I know you got your own followers. And I know that you have had some beautiful opportunities appearing on local television. And what is your mission there? Because I know you're not just about delivering messages.
Right. A great question. Thank you, Daniela. I think it's also to bring forward the beauty of the healing that comes with mediumship. Oftentimes we are looking for the message to connect to a spirit loved one, but the power that comes when we're sitting in that frequency and energy, there is a force that comes when we're holding space for that energy. And so one can receive not only the upliftment message, but also understand that there is more that can happen behind the scenes with the energy of that love, that energy that comes forward, that healing that can change the structure for a person that's open, that's ready, and that's wanting that shift, to just give that awareness that it is love and that it's not scary and there's beauty in that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Jacqui, I wanted to ask you, I know that when we had a chat in the past, we were talking about the evolution of mediumship. And what is your take on this?
Well, it's definitely evolved. If we go back to the beginning of mediumship, when it was rappings and tappings, and or the beginning of modern spiritualism, shall we say? But even if you go back further than that, there's many people over the years that have had an ability to connect with spirit. And Emanuel Swedenborg, for instance, born in the 1500s, died in the 1600s, wrote wonderful books about heaven and hell and talking to angels. But we dismiss that because we just talk about modern mediumship. But actually, if we look throughout even the Bible, when we talk about Jesus and him healing the sick, or him being reborn, all these things are things that we do or we talk about within our work. So it isn't necessarily modern. I think it's just throughout the whole of time, really. And when you look at many years ago, before we had TV and a fire that you could just press a button and click on, people would go to the wise person in the village, the seer, the local person that would help them. They would maybe trade something with them, give them food for advice or help. They would maybe look at orchidee and read the birds. The way the birds were flying would tell them what's coming up. So this isn't a new thing, what we do. I think the way we do it now is maybe newer, doing it online where we can reach the masses. And if we go to the pandemic, what happened in the pandemic is people started to realize that they needed more. And I think it kind of created this, I want to know about my soul, what happens when we die, because we were surrounded by death during the pandemic. And spiritual books were the biggest sellers out there. The shelves were cleared of spiritual books because people really needed to find something. And we're in that at the minute. And people like yourselves, myself somewhat, and now connecting with these people and helping them understand their own soul to bring that healing, like Debbie spoke about, the healing for them. And then they can carry that on. And that is real evolution, where you touch one soul and then they touch another. And that is just amazing for me.
Right.
Absolutely, and absolutely. And I feel it on my own skin when I deliver the messages, like the beauty of connecting soul to soul with someone is a Facebook user. So if you don't mind adding your own names to your messages, someone is saying, I think we have lost a lot of oral story telling from many cultures.
I would totally agree with that. I just came home. I just spoke to you earlier about being on holiday. I just came home from Turkey and we go there a lot. And it's amazing how their culture fits very much into spiritualism and what they believe. They believe that when they see a butterfly, the butterfly is the soul of a loved one.
Yes.
And how beautiful is that, to think that it might be the case, it might not, I don't know. But I just think it's a really lovely sentiment that they believe that the soul will carry on.
Right.
Yes, yeah, it is. It is totally true. I mean, if we look at or like the Egyptians, for instance, they were leaving even objects inside the tombstones because they believed
Mm-hmm.
that pets would be able to use them for abundance, fortune, and health, and so on and so forth. So absolutely. And I just wanted to say a good evening and welcome to everyone, by the way, to Courtney Lopez. I've got a number of Facebook users, Eva Burastan, Carol McDowell. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. So, Debbie, I know that you started recently. Is it like an online circle, or what is it? Spiritual development. Hello,
It's a spirit.
Jennifer. Good evening. Rose has
Yeah.
joined us.
I felt that holding space, I wanted to give back and hold space and just give everyone, the way I look at it, they're already coming in with their own magic, right? They already have their own connection between themselves and spirit. And the journey that they have with spirit and self, I'm just holding space so that we can share just that little bit of knowledge with each other. And so I've donated my time for those who want to come in on Saturdays. It's from 8 in the morning. So that way people on my end of the pond can come and those on the other side of the pond can come. So I made it very early, donation based or come for free. I feel that we do need that place, as you speak about Jacqui and Eddie, who mentioned the stories and the traditions and going back to community, right? And so I know that community is important. A place to come that's safe is important. And being able to come together with other like-minded souls that are open, that are wanting to sit in that power, that are trusting, saying, "Hey, Debbie, I see you. I see spirit. I feel this. This feels right. Let me sit here and learn, or see what I can pick up, or how I can move with what you're saying and feel into that." And just as we go into that spirit world together and letting spirit do their part, as we're attuning, we're holding space for one another to uplift and to grow in that energy. So I created a 6-week program. It was very spirit led. I have a really great time doing it. And all I'm doing is just listening and holding space, because they are already coming in rocking and are already on fire, and they already have their own magic. So I just get to share that link with them so they can feel into what they're questioning or what they're wondering with that shift of that energy and frequency.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So, to new people that are joining, they come to the SNU because they feel attracted to spirit work, Jacqui. And, they've had their own personal experience, they want to develop, and so on and so forth. What do you say to them?
It really depends on them. I never started out in the SNU. For me, I was a natural medium in my own right first. So I was already working in the world, doing what I do. For me, it was about knowledge and understanding. I wanted to know everything. I had this need to learn. So I combined the two together, and that's where it took me. And when I went into the ministry, that was again for a different reason. It was because I felt the need to help people in a different way. I'd been teaching for maybe 15 years at that point, and helping, like doing the circles, teaching workshops and doing big seminars. But I think there's different ways you can slot in, and there's more than enough work for everybody. And all we do as a medium is we are in the middle. We're helping somebody, whether it's through a communication, whether it's teaching, whether it's bringing souls back together for some reason, for healing, for love, for support. But what we should all be doing is making sure that we are uplifting everybody, whether you're in the SNU, whether you're in any other organization, or whether you're not. It's about supporting each other, helping each other, and helping humanity, because there's so much negativity out there, and you can really start to focus your energy on your own soul. It's amazing what you can do for somebody else.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. Can I ask you a very deep question, I would say? Because I've been recently with people that have been training, I don't make names, I don't name anyone, but there were mediums that they were talking between them, and they're still training with SNU. They've been mediums for a long time, and there was the topic of God, whether to mention about God or not. And some people apparently get offended if you mention it. So, for instance, whenever I say, and this is my humble personal opinion, I say God, the universe, or whatever you believe in or you want to believe in, because I leave it open. But it looks like that, there is an issue on this within the people that have been visiting the SNU and taking classes, and there is still a lot of confusion out there on this.
Yeah, I know, I understand your comment. What I would say is, if we look at the SNU, they have 7 principles, and those principles, the first one is the fatherhood of God. Now, how you believe in God is your choice. Whether it's God as a being, whether it's God as energy, whether it's God as spirit, whether it's God as something else, your God is your God. Nobody can tell you what to do with that. But with the SNU, that is part of our principles and it's part of our religion. So that's what we say. God doesn't mean that I believe in that one being up there. I believe in a collective of souls, a collective of energy, but that's my choice, and your choice is yours. And same with Deborah. If you and you, it's hard because under the banner of the SNU, we have these principles that are set in stone, and they're set that way for the reason, because that's what upholds our religion.
Yes, absolutely. And sorry, I just thought it came to mind the question because it's been quite of a topic that night for dinner, talking about that.
And I totally understand that, and I'm good with those kinds of questions. But like I say, we all have our own, and another principle in there is personal responsibility. You have personal responsibility for your own feelings, your own sense of who you are. Nobody can tell you.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Debbie, did you want to say something?
I just love how you broke that down, Jacqui. I think we are not here to shift someone's belief system and what they're believing in. They're going to feel what feels right for them. And whether it's the universe or God, Christ conscious energy, that person is going to flow in what feels right for them. It's just bringing our awareness, our inspiration, that love that you speak of. I mean, you just really broke it down in such a beautiful way. It was a great question, Daniela. I think many of us pause and we're always wondering what are we connecting to, and that goes back to the energy of love and light and spirit, the consciousness of the collective of all spirit. And this is where we don't limit ourselves, because spirit world is full of many minds of spirit, and we can work with so many if we allow ourselves to be open in the way that our mind and body spirit is ready to receive that. And so I love the way you said it, Jacqui. Amazing way of breaking it down. And the 7 principles are beautiful.
I think but people think the 7 principles, while they're set in stone there for the religion, their interpretation is yours. It's your interpretation of how you want to live your life. And do you know what? None of us are perfect. I'm not the perfect human being. I say things sometimes that I shouldn't say. I know maybe you don't believe that, but I do. None of us are perfect because we're human.
Right.
And if we make a mistake, that's okay. But as long as we learn from it and as long as we start to move forward with that. I also want to say, when we talk about God and religion, I speak to many clients every day from all religions, not just one, from all religions. And every religion has some kind of belief in what we do.
Right.
Every religion. But it
That's
just
true.
might differ from what I do or what I believe in. And that's okay. But we forget that. We forget to say, that doesn't matter. It's the love and the connection that we have with each other that's important, not the religion.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how beautiful is that to be all comprehensive somehow, and not judgmental as well. And at the end of the day, all of the religions, as you said, they all bring back to one thing, which is love. And this is what we channel to others. This is what we go back as soul, as that spark of divine, whatever that is. We move, and like it's often, I need to say, when I talk to my clients, I say, like, we are just moving from this dimension, we are inhabiting this machine, which is our body, and just we move on to a different dimension, and we live on there and forward, and nobody can say 100%, but we are able to bring back those spirits by providing data, names, numbers, locations, details of their childhood, the particular objects, where they are located. We are able to provide all of that information to prove that there is life beyond.
Yeah,
Right.
and
that
very, I was just going to say, very similar to what you've just said, where when you speak about like the person, as in the human, I say this to students all the time: the soul doesn't have a gender.
No, it's
Your
energy.
soul is your
Power.
soul. It's energy. It is power. It is just a life force, so to speak, and it can fit into any gender. It doesn't matter. And if you feel like you're not in the right body, that's okay to be who you feel you want to be.
Mhm.
And we forget that when we talk about spirit, because we just assume they might see themselves as something, but your soul might not. And that's okay,
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely, so beautiful. And on this note, I did ask Debbie to bring one of her poems so that we can listen and do, because you see, mediumship, and when we do platforms, particularly in the churches, philosophy is as important as the messages we give, isn't it, Jacqui?
I really believe that philosophy is actually the key, because once you've got that, once you've had that nugget and you believe 100% that your spirit survives that physical death, once you believe that, you need something else. And the philosophy, whether it's life philosophy, whether it's religious philosophy, poetry, it's the same. All of this type of work is really important for us to learn from each other.
Right.
Absolutely.
Love
Absolutely,
it.
yes.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yay!
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
exciting. Take it away, Debbie.
Okay. So this was a poem that was inspired to me a year ago when I first started to write poems and channeled this, and so I hope you all enjoy it. She is beauty. She carries the warmth of God's love, and she flows with the rainbows of spirit, charging our essence with joy as the heat radiates from her soul, allowing us to illuminate our worries just for a moment, one ray at a time, as the red gives us stability and the orange activating our creativity. The gold glitters, purifying from within and around us as the greens carrying us with the God's healing hand of comfort, blue shielding us as we flow with our truth, and the indigo bringing clarity to any illusions of the seen and unseen with God's love, purple blending us to everything of love and light. She is beauty, blessing us to fulfill our deepest desires, which are renewed daily with her love. And I said the soul. So this was me channeling the sun. So I leave you with the love of the sun's energy, the sun goddess. And so I thank you, Daniela, for letting me share that little poem with you both and the community today.
Very powerful, very powerful. What do you think, Jacqui?
Yeah, I thought so. And I knew it was the sun before you said it.
Ah, I love that.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. And again, it's these words. I mean, every single word is unique in itself, but when you put them together, it just makes this beautiful, warm feeling inside you. And you put it just the way you did. It was lovely, stunning. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniela, for inviting me and just sharing that. It feels good. The energy channels. And what I love about it is the energy comes with it. And it's like spirit just sprinkles us with all of that energy and all that love. So it's almost like a little nice wave of downloads of energy that gets received.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Absolutely. And I find that the more you were deepening that connection within your words, the more the warmth was coming through and the depth of the connection between you and spirit. And what is it that inspires you to write poems? Why? How did it come about that you started channeling poems?
Well, Jennifer Rose, my amazing friend who's here, she asked me, Debbie, Spirit saying, let's invite you to say a poem. And I want to be a service. And so I'm like, yeah, girl, I'll do a poem. Sure. All right. And so every time an opportunity comes to me or presents itself, I want to be a service. And so this allowed me to awaken, to channel differently the energy, to sit with spirit. And every time I sat and I started to channel, the words would get deeper. And they were very personal because they were very healing for me. And not only as it went deeper, then it grew for the collective and it grew bigger. And then the channeling started to develop even more within in my own mediumship with trance or taking it to that next level, right? How we speak and how we channel and how they're giving us the message is what we're needing, or what the community is needing when we're sharing it. They're very intelligent. They give us what we need and we speak. Yeah. And that one specific word is received for the ones who are listening to it at that moment. And so Jennifer Rose pushed me out of my comfort zone and gave me the opportunity to share that love.
Well, we definitely need to thank her. But, and I'm sure you all agree with this with me, but, I really feel that nothing happens by accident. And as we work together, from different countries all together, we do help to grow on this journey because we are here for a reason. And as Jacqui said earlier on, there is enough work for all of us,
Yes.
to do, and we are nowhere near enough. In fact, like when you put so much effort, I mean, for us, it is true that because we are energy and we are energy, essence within us and our soul, the moment it clicks, we are born with it. So anybody really, they say everybody can be psychic, not everyone is a medium. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm not quite sure how, because a lot of people that come to me, they say, oh, I can see spirit, and I talk to them, and they might not be giving messages to other people like we do on the platforms, but a lot of people do, but they don't feel comfortable with this. Sometimes they don't know what they're dealing with, so what do you think about this, Jacqui?
Well, being mediumistic doesn't mean that you're just on the platform. That isn't necessarily what it's about, just demming. I think being a medium has many different ways. Even just speaking to somebody at a bus stop and saying, "Are you okay?" Sometimes you just know, and they need that connection. I think there's levels of mediumship some people can't do, and that's okay, because not everybody reaches the same level. Some people aren't very good at doing trance. Some people aren't very good at speaking through trance. Not everybody will do every single thing, and that is okay. I think we are all psychic. Everybody has that psychic ability. That's the caveman ability that we were born with, to be able to find food, to know where water is, to sense danger. Everybody has that. But when it comes to mediumistic work, you have to work at it to be able to reach the higher levels.
Yes.
And it's as simple as that. Not everybody, not all their points align at the right time. So everything has to line up for you to be able to do this job.
Right.
Sometimes you just can't. I had 2 young children when I first started working, and that was really difficult, trying to organize babysitters while I was working, while I was at church, while I was teaching, and all these different things. I was lucky I had people around me. Not everybody has that.
Right.
So
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
while you can be mediumistic, it doesn't mean you will.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there are these sayings, that some mediums, and you hear from others, and then you question it somehow, and you just like think about it. So that's very, very nice. Well, so I just wanted to, because that's the 3 of us, I was wondering if we could give a few messages out, perhaps. And I don't know if Debbie, perhaps if you wanted to start, please.
Sure. Okay. So are we going to ask if they're open? If you can, for those in the comments, can you put your name? And if you're open, that would be great. And are we doing psychic or are we doing spirit?
Whatever you're called to be doing, because you work with spirit anyway, so you will know best.
Okay. And I'm going to put my glasses on because I definitely, names are coming in fast.
I just wanted to tell the people that are following us, I apologize for interrupting. If you go to the link, StreamYard, and then Facebook, you'll be able to add your name to it and give authorization to StreamYard to display your name, because otherwise we can't see who you are, okay? So, but can you see the messages?
I can. I'm very guided to Tina. And if I can come with Tina, if she doesn't mind, I would like to work with you. Tina, I do feel that in my awareness, I feel like I want to connect to a gentleman who feels very much like a father. As I feel into his essence, I definitely get the sense that I'm very out of breath and my legs are a bit shaky. So I know with this gentleman, I do feel also with him the color red. So I know he had a passion for life. I know that he was very active. And I also know that he had a bit of a stubbornness to him as I feel into his essence. Tina, a yes and a no, and I don't know, would be amazing. I do feel that you're thinking granddad, dad on mother's side is what I'm feeling with you. If you would understand this, Tina, if you are here, I do feel birds are a way that you connect. As Jacqui talks about the butterflies, I feel like you are one to be outside and to look at the trees, and I can feel into that for you. Who I am thinking, maybe, yeah. Would you understand everything that I'm bringing forward here? In my awareness, all of a sudden, I just want to play tennis. So I know like I would either play tennis, or I'm feeling like I would have played at some point some type of sport where a racquetball was used, if you would understand this. Maybe Grandpa might say, but I don't know about shaky. Okay, that's okay. So if the shaky legs, the weak at the legs could be due to him being very active. I did feel grandfather, father on mother's side. So you would understand this. As I feel into his essence also, I know at some point I would have been a service, whether it would be military as well. I know that there is a bit delay here, so I'm going to wait for you.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm acknowledging mom now. So I feel like grandfather is bringing my awareness to mom. And I feel like if I were to be sitting there and I were to be sitting on this couch watching TV, the legs, the condition of the legs, I also feel this would be connected to mom. I do feel her in the presence that he's making me feel like I was creative. If I would have used my hand as the yellow comes in with that power, that force, because I feel like she was also someone you wouldn't mess with, and she was someone in her power, as your grandfather would be acknowledging with mom, if you would understand this. I know that the month of
I,
March is also significant. Here she comes. He wasn't, but
yes.
his father was. He was talks, broke hip, fall, and creative and busy man. Yes, okay. So this will validate everything that we're getting here for you as well. And he is acknowledging mom as well. His service, his father was in service. Thank you, Tina, for the validation. I know that there is a lot of love for him and for the family. And I get the sense as I connect to you and to him and to your mom, it's just like I want to give you that upliftment to keep going. Either you're in a situation now where you're just needing that upliftment to say, girl, you got this. Like, I got you, whether this is with your studies or with your education. And I feel like also with mom, you know, whether you're supporting her or you're helping her, like they're just giving you that extra energy, that extra strength to keep going, if you would understand this, Tina, as well. Because I do feel like, you know, mom's going into her office, or I feel like, you know, not the office, but excuse me, opening up the door, going into the home. I could feel into that as well, if you would understand this.
Sure.
I just feel like there's this kind gesture of thank you for taking care of the family. Whether this was mom, taking care of mom is the sense I get, whether this is through abundance of finances. I just feel like gratitude is coming in, if you would understand this. I do feel others are stepping forward in reference to someone here who is also battling a little bit of emotions, a little bit of hardship. And I do feel that there's an acknowledgement to a young man as well, if you would understand this, Tina. Is she on YouTube? Is that where she's
I
at?
no, I can't see. I can't see her. I don't know whether. Oh, there she is. Mom and Dad living in my. I am in Florida.
It says, to those we have passed many. Oh, here we go. Mom, dad live in Michigan and I'm in Florida. I'm not sure. I do need an upliftment and always asking for spirit. So please know that they're acknowledging your mother, what she's going through, and the upliftment that you asked for that is being sent to you by your grandfather. There is this gratitude from grandfather to mother for the care that was given to him, and just keep going. So the upliftment that you asked for, they're aware of that. And that's the intelligence of them hearing you, connecting to them. They thank you for the work that you do for spirit, whether this is, I don't know if you're doing investigations or whether you're diving deeper into the history of properties or homes, but there is an acknowledgement of this as well. I do know also too, there was someone that was being acknowledged where they were also a gentleman who was also into their feelings, and they're having a little bit of a challenge, and they're just sending a little bit more upliftment there as well. So I'm going to leave you with his love. I know that there is definite delay. So I just thank you, Daniela, for just letting me hold space for that brief moment.
Yes, no, that's okay. I know that sometimes StreamYard has got this slight defect of the delay that it causes. So I don't know. Do you feel up for giving a message, Jacqui?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I was actually drawn very much to, I think it's Fran,
Yes.
Fran Pierce.
Yeah,
So
front Pier.
yeah, I don't know whether she's still here, but hopefully she will be. Oh, is that someone saying yes? Is that Fran
Yes,
saying?
yes, yeah, that's Fran.
Um,
Hi,
I
Fran.
Hi, yeah. Hi, Fran. Hello. first of all, I just felt really drawn to the name and I couldn't get by it. I just kept going over it and over it in my head. I actually feel like it's a gentleman that wants to speak to her and he feels like dad. I feel as if he was really close with her or they had a real close connection that was not just daughter and dad. It feels a little bit more than that. Like she understood him. He didn't have to speak. She could look in his eyes and know. I also feel that his passing, while it felt quick, there was an illness beforehand, or he felt quite ill beforehand. I also feel with Fran that she's searching for something within herself. So there's something at the minute that she's trying to look for or finish up or understand that she just hasn't quite got there yet, but she's on her way. I hope this makes sense for you, Fran. I don't know if you're still there. Also, I do get October as a really significant month for a birthday or an anniversary. I get the J name. So there is somebody with the J name, and I think that might be female. I hope you're still there, Fran.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I hope you can understand all this. If you can, a thumbs up would be good, just so I know that I'm on there. I also feel with Fran, I don't know whether she's really into words or reading or poetry, but for some reason I'm drawn right back to Deborah's beautiful poem earlier. So I feel like Fran's really looking at words, finding the words that fit for her and kind of putting them down like a life story, because it feels like a life story being put down. I also feel as if there is a lady in spirit that feels like mum that's just popping in here. And I don't know if there was a breast cancer condition on that side of the family also, on the maternal side. So I feel as if somebody also had the breast cancer condition that was connected to mum. And that comes in quite clearly there. So did Fran say she understands? Yes, and with the writing as well, so that's good. No breast cancer. Okay, let me see where I'm going with that. I'm just going to take a note of that because that might be my next link actually, because that's normally the way I work. I also get a connection to the UK. I don't know if Fran's in the UK or has connections to the UK, but I feel as if there is connections in England. So I don't know whether. Oh, Jennifer. Yay, Fran, she's an amazing writer and poet. Oh, that's lovely. I do feel as if there is connections to England, but I don't know where that is, but I feel as if it's more Middle England for me. But I do feel as if the father figure just wants her to know that he's thankful. He's really thankful for having her in his life. I don't know if she's one of three, but I get the connection to three in a family or three children or the three connections. So there might be three. Yes, England. So that might be important also. But I feel as if they're just supporting her in her journey. I do think she had a bit of a blip or a bit of a feeling down over the last couple of months, but it feels like she's moved on from that, or she's just put it away, put it back. And sometimes I think ego has been a problem where others' egos have really been hard with her. So but I do think there's a change there and things are moving on in the right direction. It just feels like there's a lot of happiness around her at the moment. And it just feels lovely. I will come back to the breast cancer thing in a moment with somebody else because I feel like that'll probably be another link. But I hope you can understand all that. And please take the love from the dad, because I just feel like when you look in his eyes, you just know what he's thinking. It just feels like there was that bigger connection. So thank you very much, Fran. And I hope that helps.
Thank you. That was really lovely. I believe you have another connection though, don't you?
I can do that. I didn't want to step on Deborah's toes if it was her turn.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I do have a lady who had a breast cancer condition. I do feel as if it started on the left-hand side of her body. It also feels that it spread quite quickly, or it was already spread by the time that they found it. I do think there was the Annie, or the female A name that comes into that. And I don't think she was awful old either. I feel like she was maybe in her early 50s, mid 50s, somewhere around that age. But I do know that she would have been the life and soul of her family and of her party. She would have just loved having people around her. And I don't know who I'm connected to here, but I feel as if somebody can understand this lady. She is just really bubbly and full of energy. I actually feel as if she wants to talk to her child. So I feel like her child is here. And I think it might be a daughter. So I don't know if somebody can understand that. Try to see if I can scroll through the names and see if I can be drawn to one in particular. But I do feel like there is a female. Does anybody understand this? I'm not getting anyone.
No. For some reasons, Amy Mann, can you take any of these, darling? I don't know why I'm drawn to you as I do a bridge over Jacqui's connection. Let me see. We're not getting.
I actually thought I was drawn to Courtney Lopez. I don't know whether Courtney. I don't know if you're still there, Courtney. I know. Oh, somebody. I understand. Someone says, I understand.
Carol,
cancer.
Oops. Oh, I understand female. Oops. I understand female friend with breast cancer. Oh, Phil. That's okay. Phil. But Amy says, my mom is there, but no breast cancer.
Okay, Phil, I'm going to speak to yourself then, if that's okay. And again, it could be that I felt it was female and it wasn't the case. This does happen. But I do feel as if the Anne name is connected somewhere. So it might not be her name, it could be connected to her, but I do feel as if it's connected. But the breast cancer would have already spread by the time they would have found it. I also feel as if she is the bubbly energy comes in with her, and she's bringing the bubbly energy in around you at the moment, because I feel as if you maybe need this, Phil. You're maybe needing that upliftment just now. I also feel as if there is a lot going on in your life at the minute where you're needing that extra bit of healing. I feel like I'm juggling everything and not really being able to get to grips with one thing because there's so much going on. So it might be that they're calming you down, letting you have that space, giving you that energy to be able to concentrate on what's happening in life. I also feel as if May comes in, the month of May feels quite significant. I also feel as if there could be the gentleman that looks like you or looks similar to you that's in spirit, because I see a gentleman and I've got the glasses on and I can see the eyes behind, and he's smiling saying, well done you. So I feel as if he's talking about what you're doing. You've worked really hard to get to a place of stability, a place of comfort in your life, and he's saying well done. And I do feel as if he's really proud of the journey that you've been on and the man that you've become, because I think it's took you a long time to find who you were, but you've done it and you're there. Also, son, I keep hearing son, but I don't know whether it's your son, whether there's another one that he's wanting to talk about, because that feels quite significant for me as well, that he wants to talk about another one. He might come back in a wee second, and I talk very fast anyway. Spot on, brilliant. So I'm just so glad I was able to connect this lady. And even though she's, the way she comes in, you will be able to place that Anne name somewhere, or it will start with Anne. Oh, he called your son. That's lovely. Also, I do want to say he talks about the time being important. So he was either always on time or he didn't like tardiness with time. So I feel as if he's just making me aware that you have to make sure everything's on time. But I do want to say thank you very much, Phil, for speaking up. And it was lovely to work with you. So thank you very much. Please take all their love.
Thank you.
Aw.
Thank you. And yeah, just to say, Phil is a dear friend of mine, and he's at forced rest, as he says. So it doesn't meant, and this message was very much, I'm sure, as he says, appreciated and needed, perhaps. I do believe that often Spirit guides us. The Spirit. What I wanted to say, sorry, I've just lost the train of my thoughts.
No, I think
upliftment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, Debbie, do you want to go ahead with next one?
Sure. Let's see who's still here because people come in and out. So let's just say hello, where you're all from. Put your name back in the comments. Let's get the energy going as I bring my awareness to Spirit, and we'll let Spirit come closer. I know that I would have had a father that's coming to my awareness. I know with this gentleman, he had some issues with the lungs. So immediately, either I was a smoker. I do know that either the name Sean is very significant because I did hear the name Sean. I do know that I love to travel, and I know that England is very significant as England comes to my awareness. I also feel that someone either was by a wishing well or there's a well of water, like that wish well is very significant if you would understand this. He does make me feel, even though he had the issues with the lungs, but there was also an issue with the heart towards the end. So I know later in my life, as he comes closer to my awareness, I was in bed, I was resting, is the sense that I get with him. It's very interesting because I heard the name Phil again. So I know either Phil is saying, oh, Debbie, or there's a connection also to the name Phil. So I'm going to pause and leave it there and see if anyone here could understand this.
So let's see if anyone is able to take these details that Debbie has just given out.
My dad is Phil. My mom's dad had lung cancer. Alice, I did feel drawn to Allison Moody. Thank you, Allison. If I may work with you, if I may, he is showing me that his hands were very rough. So I know that I was a hard worker. I know that if I were to pick up the rocks or I was outdoors, my back would have had an issue because he's making me have this impression that I'm building my home. And I know that this was important to you because it's like you also take care of your home. So it's like he built it from scratch, or his work, his energy, his time was really put into this home and this property. And I feel like that same passion for your home is embodied within you. If you would understand this, Allison Moody, is if I come to you with this. I also hear the song, You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine, as I got to read the Sunshine poem. That rainbow of vibration and frequency flows to you, within you, and all around you as you get that gentle massage from Spirit World, as they disalleviate the pressure on the back, if you would understand that. Yes, Farmer, I'm having work on my house tomorrow. Yes, I love the intelligence and the connection. She's like, girl, keep going, girl, because I feel like you're just having so much fun right now. And so he's acknowledging the laughter, the love, the it's almost like you got this boost of energy and you're like, I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to roll with it and I'm going to take it, is the sense that I get, if you would understand this. And so he just says, shine bright, shine, starlight, star bright. You're the first star I see tonight. So you're also connected to the cosmos, is the sense that I get. And he just wants to give you his love, his gratitude for all the hard work you have done on yourself within this year. You have really reached the cosmos, and he could not be more proud. And so that is the loving message I leave you with, Allison. And I just thank you so kindly for letting me hold that link for you just for this brief moment.
Wow, that was amazing. And what an evening, both ladies giving some wonderful messages coming from the heart and direct from the spirit. with lots of evidence. And Alison is adding, love stars have a niece called Seren, that is a star in Welsh. Okay, how beautiful. Beautiful messages. And so, I just wanted to say thank you so much. We're going to come towards the end of the evening. And I just wanted to say thank you ever so much to both of you for taking an hour of your time, to spend the evening with me, with us, and, just clarify some questions and issues, around spirit, how to work with spirit. And, it's so amazing to unify through internet now, mediums from different parts of the world, and just bring and have the one thing that brings us all together, which is soul and spirit. And this is ever so important, to expand the energy and work with energy. And whether it's here on earth with other people's energy, psychically perhaps, or just with spirit as it is. And in a moment where in the world there is so much need for healing and upliftment, I feel that I need to say thank you so much for moderating for spirit. And I want to say thank you for everyone that has joined us. We had some beautiful numbers connected, so thank you. Do you have anything you want to say, Jacqui?
Just, it was lovely to work with yourself, Daniela. We finally got this done, which was wonderful. And to work with the lovely Deborah as well. It's just been lovely. Lovely to meet you both. And it doesn't matter where you are in the universe. It's amazing that you connect this way. It's beautiful.
Most definitely. It's an honor to be with both of you and the community. Spirit always shows up. The intelligence and the love. I just say thank you to both of you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you too. And thank you, everyone, and have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.